Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year. Let's say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Of course, Ms. Mother.
And we do have a quorum.
We do.
There are no hearing of delegations. So I'd like to call the meeting to order. Consideration to approve the proposed agenda for the January 8th, 2020 Board of Directors meeting.
So moved. Second.
Jolene, Diane, I have it. Ms. Ingram?
Any discussion? All those in favor? Approved. Consideration to approve the minutes from the December 4th Board of Directors meeting.
So moved. Second.
Diane, Jolene, I got it. Ms. Ingram?
Any discussion? All those in favor? It's approved.
Before you go on, Ms. Ingram, I'd just like to say John Doyle has resigned from the board. He's moved, and I'd just like to publicly thank, I know Art was going to do it. Art couldn't be here tonight, but I'd just like to publicly thank John Doyle for his service to our school board. But he has officially resigned. We have notified the town of Baldwin, so we'll see what happens from their chair until the March elections, and I'll keep you posted. But thanks again, John, for all of your service to the SAD55 community.
Agreed.
Thank you, Ms. Ingram.
You're welcome. Business and Finance Report. Finance Committee report from the December 5th and January 8th meeting. Carol?
Yes. Class. December meeting took place December 5th, 2019, and it was centered on a meeting with the District Auditor Bill Hall, where he provided us with a draft copy of the 2018-19 district audit. Operating budget balance and total district fund balances were discussed. Our district is in very good fiscal shape. A copy of the completed audit will be available in the superintendent's office for anyone to review. Seems like I said that before.
It's the same as every year. It's been 7 years in a row, Carol, so it feels the same.
January 8th, 2020 Finance Committee meeting. As of December 31st, 2019, the district has expended $6,772,934 of its $14,489,050 budget, or a percentage of 46.7%. We are halfway through our fiscal year, so we are on target. Superintendent Landry advised us of unanticipated out-of-district student placements, which will cause expenditures in special education funds to increase rapidly.
Any questions for Carol? Thank you, Carol. Next meeting, February 5th, 10 a.m. Curriculum reports. Student report. Who's up to? Good.
Thank you. There were some very large and impactful happenings at the high school and beyond this month. Student Council prepared for and coordinated the annual holiday assembly. During this event, pupils were encouraged to participate in a wide variety of competitions, such as the more classical Guess That Holiday Song, or the quirky high school favorite Face Oreo game, where participants must be the first to maneuver an Oreo placed onto their forehead into their mouth. In the days preceding the assembly, the language department engaged in a celebration of Saturnalia, the Latin's pagan precursor to the modern Christmas. On top of this, students learned about the traditions of Spanish-speaking countries, like Day of the Three Kings. Each Spanish class joined with a Latin class of the same class period and took part in games, arts, and crafts that promoted an understanding of festivities in each of the aforementioned areas. Two other noteworthy events that took place this month were coordinated by the high school's JROTC troop. The first of these was the Wreaths Across America ceremony, where several members of JROTC paired with pupils in the SOUL program at the middle school to lay wreaths for fallen soldiers from each of the branches of the military. Along with this, JROTC caroled at the main veterans home and spoke with some of the veterans afterward. Sergeant First Class Robin Rollo, who we spoke with about this, recalls this experience as being enlightening and mentioned how a few of the veterans sang along with the students. Also worth noting is the accomplishment of high school junior Obi Boucher. Obi recently submitted an oil-painted self-portrait on a plywood canvas to UMass Dartmouth's College of Visual and Performing Arts 2020 Emerging Young Artists Juried Exhibition, and I'll pass it around. Submissions are evaluated based on merit in a highly selective process and chosen to be displayed accordingly. Obi's submission, and we're glad to inform you, has been very well received by the exhibition and will be displayed January 22nd to February 8th.
Thank you. Any questions? Thank you. Curriculum coordinator.
Super, thanks. So we are very excited to announce that we have an additional nationally board certified teacher. So congratulations to Elizabeth Sanborn, who's our gifted and talented teacher in the district. So we're very excited that she achieved that incredible certification. We also have lots of nominees for the Education Support Person of the Year and the Teacher of the Year this year. I was very pleased that we had students, community members, and other educators who nominated the following people. So our Teacher of the Year nominees are Sam Bowers, Stephanie Humphrey, Debbie Kine, David Martin, Bobby Jo Rand, Lori Richmond, Jean Stanley, and Amy Vacchiano. And our Education Support Person of the Year nominees are Heath Cormier, Charlene Sear, Karen Duplin, Brandy Farrington, Tiffany Filer, Laura Hermance, Erica Jordan, Nancy LaLancet, Gina Sanborn, and James Stanley. So it's always one of the best days when Dr. Landry and I go around to let them know that they've been honored, and I think that hopefully they appreciate that someone took time out of their very busy day to participate in that process. So we'll be excited to announce the winners at an upcoming early release. We're getting ready for our spelling bee, which will be Wednesday, January 15th, where students in grades 5 through 8 will be participating. And we are once again going to host the Oxford County Spelling Bee. The date will be set very soon in February. And just a couple of highlights from the elementary and the middle school report. So they also at the middle school is super proud of the Wreaths Across America. First time ever. Well, it was only our second time, but so we had the 7th grade students. They spend a lot of time studying American history and civics, and our 7th grade team asked if the students could attend. It was postponed from Saturday to Monday, so it was really worthwhile, and it was an incredible day. We also had, for the first time, our Stephanie Humphrey, who is our student council leader at the middle school, took 13 students to the Middle School Leadership Summit at the University of New England in Biddeford. Our SOUL students have been very busy doing some volunteering. They worked on the Bickford Pond Dam, working on the catwalk, and also in the middle school garden. And also at the elementary, Mr. Hughes wanted to make sure to note how proud he was of the holiday concerts. The students did an amazing job, and we're very appreciative of our new music teacher, Mrs. Manduka, and what she did, and lots of professional development going on with our teachers. I think that's everything.
Any questions for Sue?
I do, I have just one. Now, for the educators and teachers of the year, is it students and staff that vote on that, or either or how does that
So,
work?
super great question. So teachers of the year, we follow the very similar process to the state teacher of the year. So they submit an essay, they submit a resume, and we have a rubric that a group of former teachers of the year and administrators get together and score them. We try to do it blindly, but of course that's challenging because we know each other, and when you're saying I'm a 2nd grade teacher at the elementary school, you sort of know who it is, but we try. And the Education Support Person of the Year, because it's such a wide range of people, it goes from custodians to secretaries to educational technicians. We try to collect all of the information they fill out, sort of like a resume or a sheet, a nomination sheet, and we have the nomination, and then I construct, with some help from others, a paragraph, and then we send that out for vote in the district to ask people to say, who do you think is most deserving? It's an incredibly difficult process, but we didn't really know. It felt like it would be too hard to score essays written by a custodian and compare that to a person from the food service or educational technicians. So try to award those.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Sue, could you notify the board of the winners that day also?
I definitely will.
I mean, you said you were going to
Yes.
do early release.
Yes, it's our plan to do it on the January 24th early release, so I'll let you know for sure. And then our celebration actually was proposed to be March 6th, but we had some teachers yesterday who asked if we would consider doing that the following week. One, they thought it was too hard for board members who tried to participate. We were holding it at 6, and then you were racing to the board meeting at 7. So that date is to be determined, but it might be the next week after the committee meetings, so that no one felt so rushed to leave quickly, because it's been a nice night to honor teachers and educators.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Thank you, Sue. Curriculum Committee.
We had no meeting in December, but our meeting, we will be meeting next week.
They didn't meet either, Judy. Adult ed, you can skip. They didn't meet either.
Oh, adult
No,
ed.
Yeah, skip it.
Okay, adult ed did not meet. Lake Region?
Mr. Wolf or Mr. Perkins, it looks like you were attendance at the,
He sent the,
I sent the report.
I'm happy to do it, Britt, but you
Go
were
ahead.
there, so,
Go
or
ahead.
you
Yeah,
or
so
Bradley, I don't care.
Brad was there. We reviewed the cooperative agreement and the live work policy. And then a lot of the time was spent doing the review of, the Department of Education's evaluation team visited the vocational center actually a year ago. It took almost a year for them to get that report, so that was, I think, the majority of the time that we spent in that meeting. And if anybody wants a copy of that report, I do.
Do you want
I
me
have
just
a
to
hard
say that,
copy
or
of
wait
it. I
till I
think
chair to
one
do
was
it?
sent to the superintendent's office as well. So upcoming
chair's not here.
board meeting dates are going to be Friday, February 7th, Friday, March 6th, and Friday, May 1st. And the February meeting is here at SAC55.
Brad, would you like to add anything?
I would not, because that was my first meeting. I defaulted to Mr. Wolf to take notes. That was my learning experience. So,
Great, thank you. Facilities report.
I think
Construction.
defer to Cindy. I would say all-star performance, turning the notes over as Carol does, day of. That's unbelievable. So Cindy did a great job taking notes today.
So I'll try to fill Sue's shoes. But we really just talked about our two main projects that we're working on right now, the vestibule and the field bathrooms. Just different parts of the design, how they're going to be used, the actual physical construction. We are also joined by Chris Hughes, the principal of the elementary school, and Mike Caspian, the resource officer. And they both expressed their extensive support for the vestibule and how it was going to improve student safety. And then we discussed the field bathrooms and small changes we wanted to make to those plans. In the end, we were supportive still of both projects and wanted to move forward with both of them. And our next meeting's on the 5th at 10:30.
And for the community that's listening, the vestibule is the elementary school vestibule.
Sorry.
That's
yes.
okay. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Will those projects happen this year?
So that's me, Cindy. I'll jump in. So I would think so. The vestibule will be challenging, so we'll have to finalize the plan with Jeff Fleming. We took all the input today. We'll give every note to our architect to incorporate everything that was said today. I think there's a chance that the vestibule is completed this summer, and the field bathrooms, I've told this board before, since they're not attached to an existing structure, that'll require a public vote. So when we do our budget presentation in April, the public will vote on those. We'll try and use fundraise money. It's a much scaled down plan. We took board input on that as well. So we'll give our architect the input. So hopefully, yes, both this summer, but I don't want to promise something on TV that we're not going to deliver.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you. Superintendent's report.
So mine's easy, just reporting appointments and resignations. And again, for the folks at home watching who don't have this paper in front of them, appointments, Andrea Guimon for physical education, educational technician position. That's the 3-day-a-week teaching/educational technician position that we've been looking for quite some time. So we're thrilled with that. Claire Edwards as a van driver, again, another position we've been looking for quite some time. So we are thrilled with both those appointments. Resignations, retirements, actually. So I know the board, in my learning curve, Bradley, I used to say resignations for everything. There is a distinct difference between resignations and retirements. So I'll say retirements. We'd like to thank the following people for their years of service to Sacopee Valley School District. They are Paul Libby, middle school custodian, Sergeant Richard Simpson, high school JROTC, Randy Nelson, high school/middle school custodian, Shelley Lemieux, teacher at our middle school, Terry Barnes, teacher at our middle school, and Jean Stanley, District Title I teacher primarily at our elementary school. Those are the retirements this year. They're due typically January 1, so that's why you're seeing the pile right now. That's all I have, Ms. Ingram.
Go ahead.
How long has Richard Simpson's been here? He's been here a long time.
Jeepers, he was there when I was at the high school, over 15, maybe 20-ish years.
Yeah.
Close.
Good guy.
Yes, Brad.
I probably should know this, but don't. Claire Edwards, a van driver. The van's not included in the contract with the bus company?
That's correct, Bradley. So
Okay, all
we're
right.
more cost-effective to run our own vans.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Excuse me.
I know for a fact that Jean Stanley's been teaching for 42 years here. So,
These are people that have been quite a while, every one of them, serving SAD55. So again, our greatest appreciation to those folks committing to SAD 55 and our kids. And
it's wonderful. Okay. Policy Committee did not meet, and our next meeting is January 15th at 5 p.m. Other actions? Ready?
I am ready, Ms. Ingram.
Consideration to enter into executive session to discuss a personnel matter pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056A.
So moved.
Second.
I got Diane.
Diane and Brad.
Brad, got it.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Okay. We are in executive session.
Heath, you are all set. Thank you so much.